boy, Eve Summy shouted, spittle flying from his mouth. Eve lowered her head, tears streaming down her cheeks as she prayed fervently to God again to help her. Chapter 1. Levi snapped off a leaf of fresh mint from Alma Stolzfuss's pot of herbs near her back door and popped it into his mouth. He was standing with a group of young women, all of marrying age, all looking for husbands. A fox in the hen house, that's what his grandmother would have called him, because he was single too. The difference was, he wasn't here to gobble up any of these girls. He wasn't even looking for a girl to offer a ride home this evening after the singing. He intended to ask Mary, Alma Stolzfuss's niece, to let him take her home, though right now he wasn't even sure she would say yes. They were a bit on again, off again. One week she was bold enough to ask him to drive her home from one of the Saturday night singings, and the next she barely spoke to him. Levi had the idea that she was more interested in J.J. Yoder than him. The problem was that J.J. was the quiet, reflective type. He was too shy to ask a girl to ride home with him, which was the typical way young men and women got to spend time alone together in pursuit of the right spouse. J.J. certainly wasn't asking any girl out for an ice cream cone or inviting her to his family's home on a visiting Sunday. It was Levi's theory that Mary was going out with him occasionally, only to make J.J. jealous enough to ask her out himself, which was okay with Levi. He liked Mary, but more as a friend. That didn't mean he wouldn't have accepted a kiss if she offered, but that was about as unlikely as her Aunt Alma giving him one. "What about you, Levi?" Trudy Yoder, JJ's sister, cut her eyes at him. She was one of the prettiest girls standing there, and she knew it. "You going to the barn raising at Mary Aaron's grandfather's tomorrow?" He suspected Trudy was openly flirting with him, the way she was swinging her hips ever so slightly, smiling and batting her feathery eyelashes. His hunch was confirmed when her sister harumphed and slipped her arm through Trudy's. "Come, Schwester, we'd best see if Alma needs any help getting the lemonade and snacks on the table." Trudy resisted her sister's tug on her arm. "So, are you going?" she asked Levi. "Yeah, I'm going to the barn raising," he answered lazily. It had been a warm day, even for the end of May, and it was supposed to be sunny, warm, and clear the following day. Perfect conditions for a barn raising. The work crews would show up at dawn and work until sunset. It would be a long day, but Levi enjoyed barn raisings. He liked knowing he had helped a family, and the food served, often 3 full meals, was always exceptional. "You are?" Trudy was grinning again. "And is there a kind of cookie you especially like, Levi? My mom and I are baking 12 dozen for the midday meal." The apples of her cheeks were as rosy as the dress she was wearing. Like the other girls, she had kicked off her shoes for the volleyball game they'd just played, boys against girls, and hadn't put them back on. She was cute and sweet, and he wondered if Mary didn't want to ride home with him, if he ought to ask Trudy. "We're making cookies, too. Peanut butter with peanut butter chips," Mary with a Y said. That was what they called her because she was also Mary Stolzfuss, a cousin of Mary's, only she spelled her name differently. "I made some a few weeks back and took them to the Fishers for visiting Sunday. I bet Levi ate 100 of my cookies." The Fishers, relations to the Fishers back home, were the folks Levi lived with. Though his home was in Hickory Grove in central Delaware, he was a buggy maker's apprentice to Jeb Fisher, there in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. Because Jeb and his wife had never been blessed with children, they opened their home to young men interested in learning to build buggies. Right now, Levi was sharing a room with Jehu Yutzi from Ohio. "He ate 100 of your cookies?" One of the other girls, whose name he didn't remember, laughed. "I bet Levi would eat 200 of my chocolate chip cookies. You like chocolate chip, don't you, Levi?" She gazed up at him with big green eyes. Levi chewed thoughtfully on the mint leaf in his mouth, enjoying the sweet, cool flavor. "The truth is, I love all cookies," he said diplomatically, and that was a fact. He did love to eat. "You're all such good cooks."